Hello, everyone, and thank you. I would like to welcome you to this presentation. First of all, I would like to thank Chile Labs for inviting me. I'm glad to be here. This is my first time in Latvia, so it's really nice, really cool place. I'm sorry my voice is very bad, but yeah, I'm trying. Just keep up with me. Yeah, so this presentation is going to be, I'm going to talk a lot of topics, so just bear with me. I'm gonna go very, very fast through them, and then if you have some questions, we can just go at the very end. We can just come back and discuss about them, right? So I hope you are ready to have your mind blown, because I'm gonna talk a lot of really, really cool stuff. And yeah, let's buckle up and see what's the future. So this is the agenda. I know this is very boring, but I like to give you like a general overview of the things I'm going to talk about. This is like against storytelling principles, but still, I like to do it. So I'm going to give you an introduction about myself. You've heard, probably you have read something about me. Some trends from UX, UI, standard design, AI, of course, Metaverse, and XR, in the future. So let's get to that. I'm going to talk about myself. So who the hell I am? Why am I here? So this is not a presentation about me, but yeah, it's going to be short. But I have 20 years experience working as a designer. And throughout my career, I have worked in different design fields. So I've been working as an industrial designer for 8 years, designing furniture, kitchen appliances, and even technological gadgets. And simultaneously, I was working as a graphic designer, creating, printed material like brochures, catalogs, and that printed stuff that nobody uses anymore. And then after that, I decided to go into the interaction design field. And the transition was kind of smooth because, I don't know if you're designers, but the design process, it's very similar. So through all these different fields, it's almost the same steps. So it was kind of natural to jump to another design field. And lately, I've been specializing myself in XR. So for the ones who don't know what XR stands for, it's extended reality. So the past 2 years, I've been doing a lot of courses, taking master courses about this. So this is not bragging about myself, but I just want to show you, or you can understand why I'm talking about this. So this helped me to have like a holistic approach when it comes to products, digital products or whatever. But it's like, have a different mindset when I face a problem. So I need to find a solution in a different way, different tools, different approaches. So now we're going to start with the UX and UI. This is like the most exciting stuff, probably. It's visual. So I'm going to talk about this. It's taking some time. Hopefully it loads fast. Let me try the next one so I can come back. It's weird because I can see it here. Technical issues. Gonna try to reload. Okay. So yeah, something disappeared here, but your motion design and scrollytelling. So this is nothing new. So this is a trend that it's coming from the last year, and actually the maximum exponent about this trend is Apple. So if you go to Apple, you will see a lot of stuff like this. So actually, scrollytelling is like the next evolution of the parallax effect. So when you're scrolling, you are looking at something new, like some content is coming. And of course, motion design, animations, and a lot of different things happening at the same time. So this is, as I told you, nothing new, but still going on, and it's evolving. And that's really cool. I like it. That doesn't mean it's good, but many companies are doing this. So they follow. So yeah, Apple creates like a trend, and everyone follows. So it's yeah. But now, so the next trend is like 3D model interaction in real time. So this is really cool as well. We have many tools called like Spline and Vectory. Probably you have seen them if you use your social media. This is everywhere nowadays. So the cool thing about this is that you can embed a 3D model, and the end users can interact with all this. The model has like animations, colors, or whatever you want to implement within the model, and then you can play with that on the web. So this is really cool and super easy to implement. And then if you are not into 3D modeling, if you go and check those tools, it's super straightforward. It's very simple. You can do very simple volumes and figures, and you can create like really cool content. So if you haven't tried it, do it. I highly recommend it. It's really cool. So in this case, for example, you can see like different colors, different materials, and as I told you, it's very easy to implement, and even it's for free. So not bad actually. The next one, this is more UI, but it's modern minimalism. So this is something related to what Ligita was talking about. It's the use of negative space, and of course, like using like a very limited color palette, like 3 colors, 3 tones at least. And you can see this is very used in like fashion sites. So I like it. As I told you, it doesn't mean it's good, but if I like it, but it looks nice. It's clean, so many people like this. Emotional design. So this is more deeper. We're digging deeper. So in this case, this is based on the Don Norman the 3 levels of design. So actually, to be able to achieve like the utopic design, we need to cover these 3 levels, which is the visceral design, the behavioral design, and the reflective design. So for example, the visceral design is the things that we see, the first things we see when when the users interact with a product, digital product or whatever. So it's like they like it or not at the first glance. Then the behavioral, it's like, is it easy to use or not? And if it's easy to use, will they use it again? And then reflective is like, okay, I liked it. I might use it again, and then I can spread the word to some other users so they can come. So if you manage to cover all these levels, you will create like an empathetic design, which sounds very easy, but it's very difficult. And then it's like many designers claim to, oh, I'm very empathetic. Bullshit. No, not true. It's very difficult. It's very challenging. But if you know how to do it, it's not that difficult actually. But this is something that many designers are dealing with right now. Another one, which is like hyper-personalization. So this is quite difficult to explain, but I think with these 2 brands, you will understand it immediately. So for example, Netflix is really good at this. It means that all the decisions or all the content that you see, it's data-driven. That means that they know your data, and they will present you what you want, actually. But it doesn't mean it's going to be the same as other user, which is looking at the same content. It will not be the same. So, for example, probably, I mean, if you watch Netflix, which I assure you do, it's, for example, you will get like different color backgrounds or different background images, but it's going to be the same movie, and sometimes it changes. But it behaves accordingly to the content you've watched before. It's very strange, but it works like this. And the same case with Amazon. So all the content that it's displayed there, it's based on your previous decisions. And it's not the same for all the users. So it's very data-driven. It's scary as hell, but yeah, this is happening. Voice user interface and voice search. This is very cool and scary as well. I need to tell you an anecdote that happened to me like a couple of months ago. So actually, I'm from Mexico, and I have a niece in Mexico. She's 12 years old, and actually, I was texting with her, but it was super strange because she was replying immediately with perfect orthography, and I was like, what? I kept going, and then suddenly I called her because this is not my niece. What the hell? And it's me. What are you doing? I'm just dictating. He was, okay. So dictation, it's been around for many, many years, but now it's amazing. If you haven't used it, I highly recommend it. You just talk and everything goes there. And we are not even talking about AI, so we're gonna get there. But this is amazing. So usually this is used for accessibility stuff, but we're gonna get there. Google Assistant, yeah. So this is a next topic, which is standard design. This is very, very complex as well, but probably you will understand. So we always talk about inclusive design, accessible design, universal design, but it's what the hell is this? It's like some people understand something, other people understand something else. But the thing is that these are three different things. So we have like the inclusive design, which is a solution that works only for a small group that can be expanded to another group, right? But it doesn't mean it works for them. We have accessible design, which is focused on people with disabilities, and at the same time, it doesn't mean it works for everyone. And then we have universal design, which is something that works for everyone, but it doesn't mean it's good for everyone. It's very, very difficult to find a sweet spot. If you do it, boom, you nailed it. But it's almost impossible. It's like a utopian solution. And if you do it, it's very expensive. Design is expensive. So this is happening. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the EU regulations right now. But in Norway, by the end of 2025, all the design digital products must be compliant with accessibility at least. So they will get fines. Probably it's the same here in the EU, right? So this is something that everyone is very worried about. And that's good for us because that's work for us. So we need to fix it somehow, right? Sustainable design, this is like a honorable mention. I mean, this is a no-brainer. So many companies are focusing on this. So we have like different goals, of course. But I think the ones that are like, or like the companies are focusing on is like the sustainable consumption. It's like, less waste, use less energy. But I mean, this is a no-brainer. This is happening. And by the end of, I think it's just like United Nations Agenda 2030. It will be good to cover all these goals. And for those who doesn't know what's the goal, it's like the future generations will not suffer with our decisions, right? So it's like we need to create good stuff for the incoming generations, our grandchildren or whatever. AI, yay! Everyone knows about AI, specifically generative AI. And if you haven't, you are falling behind, definitely. So this is very interesting. I'm going to show you some examples of what we have been doing at Shortcut, the company I work for. And this is just like a workflow we used to have. So we have these sessions where all the design team gathers and try to come with some crazy concepts. So this is very basic. So everyone has heard about ChatGPT, of course, Midjourney. So this is very, very simple tools. But the main goal is to create a concept in the less amount of time possible, right? So it's like we define a topic. With ChatGPT, we generate the outline and the structure of the concept. With Midjourney, we generate visual assets. Then with Photoshop, Illustrator, we tweak them if needed, of course. And then with Figma, we put everything together. So I'm going to show you one example. Very weird example, but it was cool. So it was like we were at the meeting room, and it's like, OK, let's come up with a topic. Oh, horse riding. OK. You tell me a color. Oh, yellow. You tell me another one. Ah, lime. Super random stuff. And then with ChatGPT, we created like the outline for the website. So we wanted to create a website for promoting an app about horse riding. So we generate all the content. Midjourney for the logo. It doesn't make sense at all, but yeah. Even the screens, they suck, but still you get like an idea. Oh, okay, this is horse riding. And then, of course, we put everything together, and this is like the result. So is it in Norwegian? No, it's in English. So it's like, oh, vi der i det klubb, your guide to horse riding in Norway. But you know the funny thing, or the good thing about this, it takes us 10 minutes to do this, right? So we were a team of 7 designers. In 10 minutes, we came up with this. So if you want to validate an idea or a concept, you can do it. So, you know, AI really helps. So if you're not using it, please do. I highly recommend it. So you can discard or continue further with your ideas. I'm gonna show you another examples. So this, I gave a brief to my team. So the brief is, I hate my neighbor because of this reason, and I will make an app in order to avoid the situation. So same process. In less than 10 minutes, we need to come with a brochure to promote an app, right? So these are 3 different examples. So the watching owl, so it's like you're tired to discuss with your neighbor in person, do it with an app. The second one, same story, but it's just send messages like, please, shut up. And the third one is like someone smoking pot, it's like, come on, dude, stop, don't do it. Messages as well, right? But it's like funny exercises, but you know, the idea is to use the tools we have. And I mean, we did this with the free versions. We are not paying for the plus, blah, blah, blah. So we nailed it. We are nailing it. So please, I highly do it. You will see the results, definitely. This is another example. So this is for a clothing Norwegian brand. And what I want to show you, this is not a picture. This is what's generated with Midjourney. So these pictures, these images that I'm going to show you, were used to make a presentation for the higher executives of the brand, and they were like mind blown. So, and it took us less than a minute to create every image. Of course, before that, we spent like 20 minutes creating the prompt, but once we got it, images came like by magic. So here you can see, so the app, the concept is, you know, like a rescue app. So when you're hiking or something and you need help, they can save you. So it's like with this, I mean, we don't have the money to go and take pictures and like a rescue brigade. So it's like, okay, let's do it. Quite decent, actually. I mean, it's nice. And then I'm going to show you like the real deal. These pictures are from the official photographer from the company, which is, these are not bad, but you know, they not communicate what we wanted to show, right? It's like a critical situation. Someone is almost dying, they need help, but still it's like, pictures, right? We needed something more dramatic. So we did something like this, right? But you know, it took us less than a minute. It was like, and we got this, right? So, you know, the people looking at this at the presentation, they were like, damn, we want this app. And we haven't shown any app at all. It's just the concept, right? And then you see the difference? It's not a picture, but still it's like, it gives like the feeling of something's wrong and you need to do something, or cinematic effect or whatever. So it looks cool, definitely. And there's another tool. Probably some of you will know it. It's Runway. So it's like image to video generation. It's image to video, and text to video. So you can just put an image, text, whatever, and then you will get a video. So these small animations were created with the pictures I just showed you, right? It's like, you know, it's to explain the concept. You're alone in the wild, walking, and then suddenly a rock falls in your head and you almost die or whatever, and you need an app. Someone will recover you. So that's the concept, right? But it's when you try to explain this with words, it's difficult. They say that a picture talks more than 1,000 words. A video talks more than 1,000 pictures, definitely, right? Probably you've seen this. It's like, yeah, oh no, AI will take over my work. No, definitely not. If you start using these tools, AI will do your job. So that's good. Oh, and this is just, I mean, you don't have to see this, but it's like 100 different AI tools, and this was like 2 months ago. So every week, something new comes up. It's based on something that's already developed, but still, the pace is crazy. It's amazing. Every day I read something new. It's like, oh, come on, something new again. But it's difficult to keep up the pace, but it's worth it. So social media, it's flooded with all this stuff, especially LinkedIn. So have a look and see what's happening over there. So this is a quote from one of my colleagues. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is. So just learn and adapt. If you haven't done it, please start doing it. Let's embrace the change, because this is going to be like something natural. We need to cope. So it's like, yeah, we will need to do it. The metaverse. So the metaverse, that's interesting. When we talk about the metaverse, like some people imagine this kind of stuff. Oh, the world's crazy stuff. Then other people imagine this. So I mean, this is true. It's like the thing is that there's a huge misunderstanding because Facebook decided to change their name to Meta, and then they were clever, but it was not successful at all. But the thing is that in reality, the metaverse is not dead. It hasn't even started yet, because we're not there yet. I mean, let me show you. This is the state of union of the metaverse right now. So you can see all these different platforms or applications are considered part of the metaverse. Each one of them, it's like a proto-metaverse, like a small metaverse. But if you do the math, it's like almost 50 million people. It's not a big number, but still 50 million. If you compare it to the global population, it's a really, really big number. And then if you see, for example, Web 2, it's falling apart. Web 3, it's like gaining more space. Decentralized, sites, money, whatever. Here, this is like more like information. How would I say? Like real information. According to Gartner, this is the metaverse right now. So what you see in the yellow circle is like what's happening now or the next year. But in reality, to get to the real thing will take us at least 10 years. So we're getting there. It's something that's evolving. So definitely it's not dying, but it's there. So this is a meme. This is very, very cool. It's like the cool thing about the metaverse is that anyone can be part of it. So if you are into 3D modeling, you will be a metaverse architect. If you are like a seller, you will be a metaverse seller or whatever. So it's like you can be there. That's the good thing about it. And actually, if you think about it, you are already there in the metaverse. Using social media, everything is connected. But what's missing? This is the most important part. So I don't know if you have watched a movie which is called Ready Player One. So it's like the metaverse. But the thing is that they have this place in common called the Oasis. So it's like you go there and then you go to other parts. So it's connected somehow. This is the part that it's missing. So as I showed you before the State of Union, there's a lot of platforms, but there's nothing in common. So this is what it's missing. And then there are some tools, some platforms, apps that are trying to do this. There's a concept called persona. It's like a philosophical concept or religious. I don't want to dig into that, but it's like you have a persona that has many identities. So let's say if we talk about religious stuff, it's like God Father, God Son, and the Holy Spirit, but it's the same thing. So this is the case, right? There's one company trying to do something like that. So you have an avatar, which is like your persona, but then you have different proto-metaverses or metaverses where you can use this avatar. So it's connected somehow. It's starting. We're not there yet, but we're going to get there eventually, definitely. So this is a starting point. So you can use your same persona with different identities in different places. The same goes with NFTs and cryptocurrencies. So it's like everything is going to be decentralized, so you will be able to do a lot of stuff in different places with your same identity, let's call. So the metaverse is the next evolution of the internet. So it's happening now, as I told you. Meta had presentation yesterday. So they're pushing a lot of the usage of AI, and of course extended reality devices. So this is the next step. So XR technologies. As I told you at the beginning, XR stands for extended reality. And extended reality is like an umbrella term to cover different types of realities or concepts, which are the virtual reality, mixed reality, and augmented reality. This is a mess, but I will try to explain it a little bit. It's very straightforward, but still, it's confusing. Virtual reality is the most immersive one. So you put the visor or the headset, so you are like fully immersed, you don't see anything. Then you have augmented reality, you still need a device, like your phones. And then there are some headsets, I will get into there, but just wait a little bit. And mixed reality, which you can see augmented reality objects that are fused with the physical world, like virtual projects fused with the physical world. But this has changed a lot. But yeah, some examples. Virtual reality, you have the Meta Quest or Pico, a lot of devices. You have different stores, you can buy apps. But this is an example, games. They're used mostly for games. So you're fully immersed, you're in your world, and you're doing stuff, right? You have augmented reality. I think this is the most common example. It's the easiest way to explain it. Face filters, Instagram, in Snapchat, whatever. So actually, this is the most used in the world. A lot of users of augmented reality. And probably we didn't think about it. Yeah. A lot. And mixed reality. So this is, as I told you, is the combination of the physical world with the virtual world. So this is an example of the Wi-Fi intensity. So if you can check the bars, which is like, I mean, this is just an example, right? But it's you can interact with the real world in a different way. Meta call it pass-through, but then Apple came with the spatial computing. This is good. But this is mixed reality. This is the clearest example of mixed reality. I haven't tested it yet. Probably not many people have. But this is just the best example of mixed reality. We'll see how it goes. But it's evolving. It's evolving. And I'm going to show you like a small summary. So this was before. This was like a couple of months ago. VR, AR, and MR. 3 different things. But now it's like AR and MR are like mixed, is almost the same. They call it pass-through, others call it spatial computing, but it's almost the same. Very nerd and techie stuff, but it's happening right now. So this is one tool I use almost every day, which is called Bezel. So with this, it's you can create like, if you have a 3D model, you can just put it in this application. You can tweak it, you can add whatever you want, and then when it's ready, you just play, and you can put your headset and navigate around. So this is really cool, very easy to use. So for prototyping, for the prototyping phase of extended reality designs, I highly recommend using this tool. And there's another one called Shapes XR, which is the same, but the other way around. You put the headset and you do everything inside. But if you're not used to the headset, after 20 minutes, it's like you get tired. It's like it's impossible, and it's not that intuitive because you are used to the mouse, drag and drop, and scale, resize, whatever. And here it's completely different gestures that you have to do like that, and it's very tiring. People love it, people hate it. It depends. I prefer the other one, but it's up to different people. It's a different, same results, different methods. In the future. I always do an exercise when I have to solve a problem. So it's like, I always think about dystopian futures, problems in dystopian futures. And once you try to solve those problems, you will come up with solutions for utopian presents. Does that make sense? So you think the worst of the worst, you solve it, and then it will be like a kick-ass solution for the present. Sometimes it's expensive, sometimes it's like easy peasy, but that's a good exercise. I highly recommend doing it. And then I'm gonna give you a reflection. So the emerging technologies are just like an ocean wave. Waves are constantly forming, gathering strength, and crashing onto the shore, leaving an impact. But we should not just watch. So let's embrace the change and surf the wave, right? This is my recommendation. And last but not least, these are my words of advice. Whenever you need to do something new, when you need to create something new, use imagination as a destination. Thank you.
That's breathtaking.
If you want to reach out, please.
Yes. Let's use this time to ask questions. Yes, we have a couple of questions already.
Thank you for your presentation. It was amazing.
Thank you.
And in your opinion, what do you think during the next 5 years or in general, will the AI replace the whole designers? What do you think?
Probably for the, it's a very, very good question. The thing is that nowadays, for example, in my team, all the designers are using AI tools, right? So for the most basic stuff, wireframes, it's like, boom, you get it in less than a minute.
I get it.
So now AI is replacing a part of our job, right? But I think the human touch, the human feeling will not be replaced, right? So there has to be someone who decides and validates, even if it's AI generated or not. It's like, this is good, this is not. So it will be replaced somehow, but not 100%. That's my point of view, right?
Yeah, actually I agree with that, and I think that for now it's not replaced, but more like optimization.
Yeah. As I told you before, it's like something that will become like somehow natural. It's like, you do it. It's now, before you use the pencil and the ruler to make straight lines, now you will use AI.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Yeah, one more question over there.
Yeah, as a previous speaker, thank you so much for your presentation.
You're welcome.
What would you advise to your younger and less experienced self, let's say whatever time ago, when like top 3 to 5 things when creating prompts, when using AI?
Yeah. This is good because actually when I'm creating a prompt, I think about myself 20 years ago. It's like, because as I told you before, I'm an industrial designer, so it's like when I wanted to create a 3D model and a render, you had to put all the specifications. And it's like, I have to go back to the basis and do it again, but just writing, right? It's very, very difficult. But that's a very good question. I don't know. It's like, keep learning. That's the thing. That's what I do, actually. But I would tell myself, keep learning, keep learning. That's what my answer. Yeah.
All right. Any more questions? Yes. Please, over there. Yeah, you're the next one. Yeah.
This is touching upon the mixed reality question. You probably remember around 10 years ago there was Google Glass, right?
Yeah.
And it flopped.
Yeah.
There were probably multiple reasons, but one of the reasons, as far as I remember, was people basically weren't ready for such a gadget, right?
Yes, yes.
Would you say that now, 10 years gone from that, people and the newer generation are more like, tech integrated and are more like accepting?
You know what I told you at the beginning, right? It's Apple creates trends, right? So when the Vision Pro comes up, I will be able to respond to that question. But I think it's expensive as hell. But then what Apple did is to put the pieces on the table, and there's like more market. There's going to be a war of devices, blah, blah, blah. And then, as I told the other ones, the others, it's like it will become somehow natural. And it's like, he has a headset. Okay.
But I think in the presentation Zach he was also talking about the mixed reality and basically integrating it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they presented the Ray-Ban mixed reality glasses. I don't know, I'm not a big fan, but it's like, another way to reach other target groups. It's like people who is not interested in buying the whole huge stuff. You just buy glasses and like the Snapchat ones, which people hate and love. But I think, as I told you, as I show you in the chart, it will take us 10 years at least. That we're not there yet, but we're getting there. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I had one more question there.
Thank you for the presentation.
Yeah.
It was great.
You're welcome.
My question is going backwards to the hyper-personalization.
Yeah.
That bit. You were talking about Netflix and how they base their offer on data. And I know that Google does that as well. Yeah, and many of them in the market, of course. But aren't they forcing kind of their user into some certain like box of choices? And then you just end up with what you had previously, just because you already had to make previous choice.
Yeah, it's very black design patterns, but yeah, it's everyone is doing it. And then the thing is that, for example, when you accept the terms and conditions that you don't read, it's like when you click accept, you are screwed, right? So yeah, it's as I told you, it's scary, but yeah, everyone does it. Google, Facebook, of course.
I'm just wondering that they are not providing the choice for users, and
that's true. That's
probably it's not actually what they really wanted to watch or read.
Yeah, it's not what you want. It's not like suggestions about new content. Yeah, it's about new content, but it's like the way you see these suggestions. It's like I don't know if you saw a cartoon, and now you're scrolling in normal pictures, movies, you will get like a thumbnail of a movie with some cartoonish effect. This is the way it works. It's crazy.
Well, from my perspective, now I'm forced just to watch comedies, just because I previously chose them, and it's like no choice at all.
Yeah, the algorithm. It's like even for example, with social media, it's like if you by mistake open something that, then you will get a lot of shit. Sorry, it's like it is how it is.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for response. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Yes. One more question.
Maybe you could share some experience about how to write ideal prompts to, for example, Midjourney.
Yeah, that's it. The thing is that it's very difficult to create your own prompts. But if you have the general idea, you go to ChatGPT and you say, I have this idea, help me to write a perfect prompt, and that's how it is.
Really?
That's how it works.
Oh yeah, thank you for the tip.
Yeah, it works like a charm, definitely.
Cool.
It's like that's what we do. It's like we create a perfect prompts with ChatGPT. Yeah, it's amazing.
Thank you for the tip, really.
No, I mean I have many examples, not now, of course, but if you reach out to me, I can give you examples, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
All right. Great. I guess then that's it. We have a nomination of the best question. So who would you choose?
All the questions were really good, but the one that made me think about myself 20 years ago was like first time in my life that I make that question. So that's a winner. I have a gift for you. I will give it to you afterwards, but I have. That's my really good question. Yeah.
All right. Let's give it up for Jesus. Thank you very much. Thank you.